Hello, everyone. Um, Decided to today. Yesterday, I did not pay any attention. I actually left the house, didn't look at the aquarium. Um, Today, I guess I'm going to talk a little bit of some of the plans and things that I'm going to do to try to rectify the situation. Rectify the situation. Unfortunate, obviously it's a definitely an unfortunate event of what's going on to me, what's happening to me, should I say. Um, I'm still very upset, obviously. There's not much that I can do besides uh, do certain things to try to figure it out. Been getting tons of responses, tons of a lot of responses. But before we get into it, to the situation, are things that um, I'm gonna do, things I've thought about, um, and stuff like that. I just want to say, first off, thanks. I just want to let Randy, and Ryan and Randy over at BRS. I just want to say to those guys, thanks. I know they had a live stream the other day, and they sent their best regards to my situation. Um, Greatly appreciate that. Uh, Meant a lot. Um, those guys came a long way, uh, to be quite honest. I used to sit back and, quite frankly, look at some of the stuff they used to say, and now I could see the changes and how they're trying to make the hobby great. Not saying they didn't before, but they're definitely on the right track, so they need to continue to keep doing what they do. But anyway, as you guys know from the video, the other live stream, I put in this Pureit from Brightwell. Um, I added those bags in the aquarium and just letting it sit. No more water changes. I am waiting on salt. I need a lot of salt. Um, my local LFSs and stuff don't have as much as I need. Um, yeah, Gabe. I mean, I gotta respect him for. I mean, that was awesome to them, and I know, they have said to me, keep doing what you're doing. We're watching. In the past, and it just really confirms that they really respect what I do, and it says a lot. It says a lot. It's very hard to do these type of things. You're always under a microscope. Um, you're always having all kinds of things. So without getting into all too much of all that, I felt like I did, they deserved for me to let them know I greatly appreciate the love and support they sent my way. Uh, but I was watching also one of their shows, and they did the best salts and comparisons and stuff like that. And obviously, even Instant Ocean was up there. Instant Ocean's just been around a long time. Um, Even with the brown stuff and the muck that comes into that salt, um, you know, my whole existence of reefing, I've never had one problem. I've never had a problem putting the brown muck stuff in my water, throwing it in or anything. But one thing that really stood out, and so I have chose a salt. So for people that want to know, I am going to, first off, I'm going with this for uh, two reasons. First reason is um, they would just rush to help me out to help with my aquarium. And the second reason was because of what Randy and Ryan, or should I say Ryan, said in his stream, that when he asked, when Jeremy from Brightwell asked about, what would it take to be, a line of their product or whatever with BRS. He said he didn't want to be there unless he deserved it. Their stuff deserved it. And to be honest and open and just keeping it real, regardless if it's number one on the totem pole for salt or not, I'm just a real dude, and I don't want nobody blowing smoke up my butt. And for that reason, I'm accepting salt, and I'm going to be using their salt on this aquarium, and be doing lots of water changes, and hopefully turn this aquarium around for the better. There are several things I also would like to talk about when it comes to, and I'm going to just pull up some things here while I'm actually on the phone with you guys, but just to far as what people are asking me and stuff like that. It right now it's really hard for me to get to everybody's comments, and because I'm reading some genuine comments, and then there's some comments that just don't sit right. To be quite honest, not that they're mean or not, some of them are whatever, but I just would like to try to make people understand. I think when I talk really fast. I don't have to really, I'm not thinking about what I'm saying. And the reasons I'm not really thinking about what I'm saying is because it's already there. It's upstairs, and it's just like whatever. So some of the situations that people think it might have been, I think some people have great attitudes on trying to break things down when it comes to possibilities. Let's see. I'm just trying to think of some of the things, and I'm trying to go through some of the comments. A lot of people said nutrients as well. Now, I do run a big import and big export. But I guess I want to go to first things first. Carbon was never ran on my system until I started noticing problems. Okay? So when I noticed the problems, I was like, okay, we're going to put some carbon on. Now, if you guys know, basically, BRS 2-stage, GFO, and carbon. Now, I'm only running maybe 300 milliliters of carbon on 1,000 gallons. So just to help clarify, when I said I started banging carbon on it, I want people to understand that the amount I'm using is really, it's not efficient for the aquarium size. So I don't want people to get the wrong concept, because they said, oh, well, if you got this and you did this, this is going to happen. People say you can't relate your 300 to this. Um, so people are asking questions in here, guys, and you guys been here for the beginning already. Can you please answer them so I can concentrate on what I'm trying to say to you guys today? Um, so the carbon, I never put on the carbon until I started, um, seeing problems. So it was only carbon and some water changes. Now, when it comes to the water changes were done in small increments until the last one before Florida. Okay. Now, with that being said, what I mean by small, 40 to 60 gallons. Okay, in the ranges of those. So it might have been a 40 here, it might have been a 50, it might have been a whole 60, but it was always in between that. Okay. Now, there's nothing that's getting into my aquarium. Okay, there's nothing that can per se get in there. Now, I know people say, well, you got kids. I'll be honest, the kids know better. I know it's a wild thing and it's easy to point the finger in this direction or that direction. The truth of the matter is, this is more secure and closed up than my last system, uh, period. But at the end of the day, they don't, whatever. Now, um, these are the only things. Now, people are saying also, well, he had nutrients problem. Now, first people say I didn't have enough nutrients. People say I had nutrients problem because I had some green hair algae growing, and I also had some turf algae. Okay, so I showed people how to get rid of all this stuff. I used 150 Mexican turbo snails. Okay, all those turbo snails is just take it off the rock and turn it into poo. And they make a lot of mess. Not counting that there are some snails that, died. It's 1,000 gallons. Okay, that is a food source. That's nutrients to the aquarium. Um, my nutrients do run low. Okay, but at the same time, they will probably always run low, just because of how I run things, even though I feed a lot. Um, and I never have a problem with it. Now, people said that it was rock work. Okay, well, rock work has been what, like 10 months? Corals were encrusting on this rock work. Corals were doing good. They wasn't standing there and just looking. Corals were thriving. There was a period that I didn't do any water change, because I wanted the tank to really just that water to really just mature and stuff. I know some people might have missed that memo when I talked about that. That's okay, but I don't owe any explanation. But at the same time, I owe it to talk to you guys about this, um, because how is anybody going to learn? And if I'm so about helping people out, even though I'm putting myself under a microscope, um, I have to talk about this. And maybe somebody's going to um, learn something from it. Now, where the learning is from this, I still have no idea. Okay? So, but I think it's right for me to really talk about this. These are the things that I've done. Now, there are only two things that I've done. Now, people try to say, there was an individual said, a net cleaner. Um, my aquarium's big enough for me to get in there to clean the glass. The water volume's there. A lot, there's a lot of things. I understand the tank is um, really new. Also, I use several different bacterias. Um, I use several different bacteria to help really colonize the aquarium. I know a lot of people think they have it figured out. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. Obviously, I put something out. People, it's open Pandora's box. People are going to say all kinds of things. Um, I just wish more people learn how to talk with people instead of at people. So, there's a way of saying things. Um, some people are very good at it and made sure that, they was very gentle about the situation when, suggesting things or have I looked at this or have I looked at that. When I tell y'all that I have racked my brain and been having sleepless nights about what's going on, I truly have racked my brain. Now, I know a lot of people are waiting for me to just say 100% certainty that it was the salt. Right now, I can't. Right now, I did send out 2 ICP tests. Don't know what it's going to say. A lot of people say it's not going to do anything for you. A lot of people say send them out. Now, what I did do, obviously, I used the tank water and the water that's left in the mixing station. I did um, take sample water of that as well. Um, Things are, uh, I don't know if it's from yesterday because I really didn't look at the aquarium, to be quite honest. I'm looking at it today and really looking at it, and there are some more SPS that are just whatever. Or should I say, yeah, SPS and my Raja Rampage chalice is um, going up in smoke as well. Um, so we did just put the period on. I don't expect a miracle overnight. I think now that from I put the video out, the day I got it, um, we bagged it, we put it in, um, just give it a good 48 hours, and 72 hours. Got to remember this is a large water volume. We are trying to push water through the bags as well. They give it time to work as well. Nothing good's going to happen overnight. Only bad things happen, and that is the truth. So I'm going to be working obviously um, with the Brightwell product. I'm going to try it. We're using the Pureit. Um, I got a lot of respect for them to, what that's what really did it is on BRS for me. I was going back to Instant Ocean. Um, yeah, but you know, for them to say this to a huge company, we don't want it if we don't deserve it. I think Ryan's right. I mean, you don't hear companies say stuff like that. And for them to say that and be that type of person, just being bluntly honest, I was like, you know what, I'm gonna, yeah, I'm going to work with that salt. They're gonna help me out. I'm gonna work with them. I think it's a good choice right now for me. Um, and hopefully we're going to get this aquarium turned around. I just got to make room for all this salt. Um, Obviously, uh, it's going to take a lot. Now my next method is should I be doing? I can make 300 gallons a day of salt. So should I be doing that? These are things that I'm trying to wonder. Um, yes, I found that out, Phil, on this one. Um, so I'm thinking of 100 to 200 gallons a day over the course of 2 to 3 weeks. That's what I'm going to be running. So I don't know. I'm going to have to get a lot of settlement filters in, probably a box of settlement filters, box of carbons. Probably going to need a replacement kit on my RO unit, 100 gallon per day, 3 of those membranes after this is all said and done. There's going to be a lot of replacement stuff that I'm going to need because I'm going to be burning through a lot to make this water. So those are my plans. That's what I plan on doing. I still have to sit down. I'm under a lot of pressure right now. I'm just being honest. I feel like I'm really under a lot of pressure. I'm really still cringing about all this. There's not much I can do, and that's the bad part. How can I do anything about this? We're talking the heart of the system. We're talking about water here. Water's the whole foundation of the aquarium, anybody's aquarium. And when that is messed up, there's not much you can do but sit back and take that ride. I don't consider it a what you would say the typical a tank crash, but I must say it's probably the closest thing to it and the closest thing that I've ever felt or seen in my life, personally. So, all I'm hoping for and praying for is that this is going to turn around once I get some new salt in and try to flush the system. I know people are probably saying, so what's, this or that. Well, hear me out. I'm not going to say a whole lot of things that I have no scientific proof. Okay? Only thing that I can say is tell you guys exactly what I did and why I'm saying what I'm saying. Tell you my side. This is what I did. This is the results I got every time I did X, Y, and Z. So therefore, I'm not panicking. People think that, okay, Rico, you preach about not panicking, blah, blah, blah. You say this. And I respect everybody. And this is no disrespect. I don't need my own words to come back and haunt me and tell me what I say. I know exactly what I say. And I say the exact same thing over and over and over. Because it's easy to say exactly what it is and be straight up and honest than tell a lie and stumble and start saying something that, you said this over here, but now you're saying this. Just keep it 100. I'm not panicking. When you have a bad situation, you assess the situation, you assess the problem. So by me putting some carbon on, that is typical. That what anybody should do. Run some filter flaws, filter pad, filter whatever, and do water changes. The same things that any normal person in this industry or in this hobby, those are the things that you're going to do. Why? Because it's water. The water is your life. Without it, it dies. Okay? You need water. We all need water. So by doing 10% or less of water changes should never be considered a panic. Should never be, exactly, panicking causes more issues. I think I've handled this as well as well could be when it comes to this situation. I couldn't imagine and wouldn't want to imagine what others may have done in the exact same situation that I'm going through right now. Okay. Um, I wouldn't wish this on my worst enemy, to be quite frankly. Uh, um, so, 10 grand is probably putting it close to, yeah, um, probably more, but whatever. Um, I didn't panic. There's nothing. I just came live, showed you guys what's going on, um, took you guys around, showing you dead, melting, 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 melting. Um, there's a lot. I'm not going to, you know, I'm just telling you guys, and I mean, I hope everybody can respect the fact that all I'm doing is just telling my story. This is what I did. This when I did this, this is what happened. That's it. People want me to put the finger on something. I'll be honest. I'm not going to do that because I have not a lot of proof. Um, it could have been one hell of a coincidence. But at the end of the day, I'm going to shift and go elsewhere and use a different product. I made two changes in reefing. That is dry rock, and then that's my salt. Those are the two changes I made. They don't have a lot of stuff in the water. We are talking about a large water volume, and that's it. It would take a whole lot of something or something very contaminant to wreak the havoc on my aquarium as what it's doing. So hopefully everybody can at least respect my decisions at the end of the day on the choices that I'm going to make. Um, and I just need to get through this. I know I will get through this. It's just a matter of time. And at this point now, it's a major setback, and all I have is time. Uh, and I will continue to, um, you know, see what's happening. I'm like I said, I'm just gotta wait for the ICP test. See if it will come up with anything. Um, that's it. Um, like I said, there's plenty of fish in here. We need to add more fish for more fish food. I feed real heavy and all that. So um, yeah, as far as the system getting constantly fed and stuff like that for things to eat, nothing here is starving. Things might um, be low when it comes to parameters. I expect low. I expect that because of how I run things, and all my systems have run that. And I know people say you can't compare, but they can't tell me what I can and cannot do. Because even setting, what up new systems, yes, I'm using live rock. The systems are still always low. If you guys remember the 300, it wasn't too long ago. We've sat on live streams and done tests and all that all the time. And all the time my stuff was always low. The rock is, 10 months in. A lot of people that have been in this hobby a very long time have, I'm using a lot of frozen foods. I'm using a lot of rods. I use a lot of the packs, square packs, uh, and all that. I use New Life Spectrum as well, some pellets and omega flakes, typical things that any hobbyist use. I use. So yeah, but mainly I use a lot of frozen. I also use reef nutrition stuff as well. I actually take the frozen and some reef nutrition and squirt that, mix all that together, and then I also use reef roids. I put about 2 scoops, the little teeny scoops of reef roids in, and mix all that up. And then I usually take a turkey baster, and that gets fed about every hour on the hour when I'm home. And when I'm not home and I got to go take care of clients and stuff like that, that gets broken down to about 3 times or 4 times with the hours that are left during midday from 5 o'clock to 10 o'clock when the lights go out. So I really am whatever. And then my auto feeder feeds 4 times a day pellets. So with even all these foods and constant feeding, my system runs very low. Just because I'm a firm believer in a big amount of feeding, but also a big amount of exporting, big import, big export, to making sure that things are getting fed. They got plenty of time. We're feeding throughout the day. It should keep things nice and happy, constantly in feed mode. Whatever's getting taken up is getting taken up, and then whatever's not, it's getting, the process of skimmer, whatever skimmer's taking up, and it just keeps repeating through the system. Unless I have some filter socks in, just to kind of polish up anything and stir up some stuff and allow filter socks to catch those things, and then remove those filter socks and so forth. Um, um, so those are the things that my plans are. Um, once again, I just want to say thanks to those that are really very helpful and showing love and being supportive. Um, you know, if it wasn't, Saltwater Aquarium for you guys, singing out test kits and stuff for you guys are demanding this test. I mean, those guys obviously respect what I do as well. They overnighted this to get here. Okay, really quick response plus all these test kits here. I got to sit down at some point today and just start going through and testing everything. I'll be honest, I haven't done it. I'm very sick to my stomach. I'm trying to talk to people. I'm trying to, people are reaching out to me that's been in the hobby a very long time. We're trying to match apples and oranges. Things really just don't add up. Why don't things add up? Just because of the shrimp that's in the aquarium, because of the clam that's a filter feeder. These are other things that just doesn't make sense. It's very strange. At the end of the day, though, I can't eliminate my live rock or my dry rock that's now live rock. I'm not going to, I had questions of people asking me, am I going to pull all my rock from the system? The answer is no. I'm not going to start over. I don't care what is what. I will just flush. I will continue to flush. I will use this purite stuff. Basically, it looks like to me, it's a media. It basically looks like carbon on steroids 10 times over. That's what it looks like to me. So allow that to lock up all the things that it could possibly be. I'll continue to feed heavy, so I'm not also I'm not stripping the system. I know a lot of people are worrying about me stripping the system. I understand a lot of people's concerns, and I appreciate your guys' concerns. But just try to understand that, no, I'm not I don't have the answers to everything, but I am good at what I am good at. And I am good at being a hell of a reef keeper and producing some you know, raw corals, big, huge, humongous corals and stuff like that. Have faith in me. That's all I'm saying. You know, have faith that, you know, we're going to get through this and it's going to be okay. It sucks. It hurts. It's devastating. This was a lot of high end stuff. I told you guys from the beginning um, that it was going to be the, the high end tank. Okay, it's going to be everything that people um, are, you know, want, you know, um, stuff like that. You know, not to just be funny, but I just wanted to be more selective with this beast and corals. So that's what it is. I mean, my glass is dirty. There's film every day on this aquarium. That was another thing that I wanted to talk about. Is that, you know, my tank? People say it's clean. I wipe my glass. I mean, it's film every day as well. I have to whatever. I don't have any poly filters, to be quite honest, at all. Uh, that can't remove contaminants. Yeah, this stuff, this period's supposed to. The thing is, as well, if I would have had that, I probably would have ran that first, just to see, and then ran the period. But I didn't have either, and the period actually came really fast, like next day, as well. So since I put that in, I have to understand, and everybody else has to understand. I can't throw a bunch of stuff at this, guys, because if I throw a bunch of stuff, that's even more of a possibility. I'm not going to know what exactly was going on in the aquarium. I might not ever have that answer. So that is something that I don't want to get into, and that's what a lot of people do. They really start throwing a bunch of things at something, and it sucks for me to sit here and watch these cores just to dissolve and just to go up in smoke. It really does. But at the end of the day, if we can learn a lesson from this, or if there is anything to learn from this, I'd rather just let it do what it's going to do and have faith that once it's all said and done, um, you know, we'll get back on track. And like I said, there's people that's already said when things get back, uh, they're going to help with, with corals and stuff like that, getting corals put back in here and stuff like that. So I got to have faith, just like I need you guys to have faith that, you know, we gotta, it's going to be okay eventually. You know what I mean? It's one of those things. Um, I was supposed to leave this weekend. I'm not going anywhere. Um, I was gonna stop at another big old school reefer's house, and things just kind of whatever. Then I was gonna stop over and hang out over at saltwateraquarium.com with these guys, and try to get my mind off of stuff. But it's just so much going on right now. I couldn't do it. So um, maybe next week or something. I don't know. But yeah, there's just a lot going on. So I just want to say I do appreciate each and every one of you guys that are PM and or leaving comments on the videos and trying to rack your brain over this stuff. I will, if you guys have some questions real quick, I will get answer some here. Um, I don't know if you guys have anything for me at all. I know there was some questions asked. I just don't remember. I was just trying to make sure I'm covering some of the things that people are saying when it comes to um, this. I'm just trying to go back. There's a lot that's already been on here. Wow. Um, Sorry, so I didn't answer. I wasn't looking at the chat because I didn't want to lose my train of thought, and I want to make sure that I'm covering as much as I can remember of some of the things that people were saying. Is it possible that introducing something foreign into the system? Fish foods are you using? Is it possible that? Well, I've been using the fish food since day one. So I really don't think fish food did any of that. And here's the thing, it just goes back to what I did. I ran through my first batch, my big batch that I initially got to start with when I got on to start up the Fritz. And I ran through that. And this was my second big batch of salt. And I didn't realize this second big batch. People was telling me, look at the lot number and stuff like that. I don't know if I said this, but I might have. I didn't realize it came off of a skid, but there's two different batch lot numbers on this skid. I thought it was the same. So, but at the end of the day, I don't know if it's the salt. I'm just, I'm just doing what I can do to stop what's going on right now. I'm gonna try to stop what's going on with using the Brightwell Pure product. Um, I've heard some of you guys suggested it. I think Gabe mentioned something about it as well. Um, that is supposed to be good. Once again, guys, I don't use a lot of anything, but this is like carbon. Uh, just looks like it's on steroids. Um, so I'm using that, and I'm just going to flush the system out with a different salt. And by doing that, first off, to see if this is going to work, because I don't know if the salt will be here today or Monday, but um, by doing that, I put this in. It's within a week, and see if everything calms down with this product here. If it does, then and I nothing else is being I'm losing nothing else, hopefully, and then I'll just flush the system. And if all that goes well, I'm just going to be blessed in that way and be thankful that things have subsided and that we can just now work forward to moving forward to getting the tank back on track and getting corals on him and stuff like that. So that's my goal. So I'm not, well, it's 1,000 gallons, so I'm just going to answer the cancerous reef. He says, but then again, switching to another salt too quickly will probably do in what corals is hanging on by a thread. Well, we can't switch too quickly. Everything that's going to be done is basically watered down into, over couple, almost a month, probably. Okay, so you guys got to remember, if I switch a salt and I'm doing 100 gallons water changer, 20%. That 20% isn't really 20%. Okay, what am I doing? I'm diluting the system. Okay, so I'm diluting. Now, remember when people are telling me they got this going on and they can't get their nitrates, nutrients levels down. You guys remember what I said? Okay, so um, um, people say, Rico, I'm doing my 10% water change, I'm doing this. But what they're not doing is changing their feeding as well. And they also not doing a larger water change to really see an effect in dropping nutrients. So, um, yeah, um, I'm diluting the situation. Talking with mixing a pool full of water and switching with less. Um, is a plan then to switch salts? I'm definitely switching salts. That's not a question. I have about 8 boxes here if anybody wants of the other salt that I have. If anybody want to come pick them up. Um, Actually, no. I'll just throw them out. It's not. I'm not gonna do that. Obviously, for obvious reasons. I ain't gonna let nobody. If something is something, then whatever. Um, I'm just going with a different salt. The wife ain't done a water change, and the water change that she did was with the old batch. But she really ain't done nothing with her aquarium. That's why she needs to give you guys an update as well. Okay, catching up, Rico. So, whoa, chat's moving. What's the verdict? Did you find out what the problem was? Jose, no. Now that's the Rico that I want to hear talking. It will be over when it's over. Thank you, Jennifer. Uh, that salt seems to be safe for a Fowler tank. What salt are we talking about, Gabe? Here, sorry, I don't know if I missed something. Um, what about the JBJ hasn't got a water change. Frag tanks hasn't got a water change. So um, these things ain't getting water change. Hasn't got a water change since whatever. Um, I like Instant Ocean. It always has worked. I can't deny that. I agree with you 110% on that one. Brown sludge and all. Um, the salt you're about to throw away. Oh, what did you say again? Oh. Got you. Yeah. Um, Probably so, Gabe. Yeah, but I wouldn't. I mean, if it is something that way, I don't want nobody to point the finger back at me. Well, Rico gave it to me. Yeah, I don't need to hear that. I just coming out and just talking about this stuff and what's going on and showing you guys what's going on has really drained, uh, almost drained the life out of me, to be quite honest. Um, I'm a big boy, but at the end of the day, that hurts like nobody's business when something like this happens. So, have you contacted? Have you contacted manufacturer of the salt? Just a thought from non-reef keeper, but I hope it gets better for you, brother. Hey, thanks, Redneck Aquatics. No, um, I'm sure that it's probably done traveled around the world. Oh my God, the Rico's aquariums tank crash. People talk. Um, at the end of the day, I don't want it. I have I have suspicion on what it is. I don't have proof. At the end of the day, I don't need to hear anything negative coming my way. Because I will probably, just being honest, lose it. Totally lose it. There's a time and a place when bad things happen for people to talk to people, and right now is not the time at all. It's just not the time. And I have to understand my faults and how much I can take and what I can't take. And right now, I can't take anybody. No, I can't. I'm barely taking what people got to say as far as comments when they're coming in negative. So, um, and at the end of the day, why do I need to contact? I'm sure everybody knows what's going on. I'm pretty sure this is a small niche in the industry. And it's everybody talks. Everybody's got something to say. Um, Not a nothing. Been a ghost. So um, it's fine. And in a lot of ways, it just tells me, maybe I'm making a better decision going a different route anyway. Um, I know if it was me, ain't nobody got to wait for me. If I own a whatever, I'm gonna reach out. I'm gonna see what's going on. And quite honestly, even if I, just due to the situation and hearing and listening,
if I was the owner, I think I would just try to make it right regardless. That's just me. And um, probably because I can, because of who I am, a company or whatever. Um, I think I would reach out regardless. And I think I would try to make it right regardless of who's right, who's wrong. Um, I, I don't have faith though when it comes to that. And I'm not gonna bash them. People are still can use whatever they want. I don't have any evidence. Um, I'm gonna be the bigger person. I'm going to keep it moving. I'm gonna dust my knees off from this, and I'm just gonna go a different route and see what that brings to the table for my future of reef keeping. Um, that's it. I'm not here to destroy anybody. I'm not here to going to be sitting up here bad mouthing and doing all this. Um, I think you need solid proof. Um, you might have the proof, but it comes down to one word versus somebody else, or it comes down to trying to source a third party source, ICP or whatever, to maybe, maybe it will come back some. But people I've talked to don't have faith that it's going to say much of anything. I don't know, but we're going to find out. Maybe it will. I can't give an honest opinion on that neither. So I don't know. Everybody knows as much as I do. Everybody's speculating as much as I am. Everybody's just grasping at straws as much as I am. But at the end of the day, I know what I did. And I know every time I did one thing, something else happens. And like I said, maybe it's just one heck of a coincidence. Um, so I don't know. So at the beginning of this video, I just said that first off, I wanted to thank Ryan and Randy, because they showed a lot of love. Saltwater Aquarium showed a lot of love as well, and made sure that I got what I needed to test. You guys were just hounding, and they immediately, Brightwell Aquatics immediately. These people that I'm mentioning have my back, obviously. Immediately coming to the rescue to help out, to sort this out, to making things happen. They over there just shouted out, just saying, showing some love, and um, you know, uh, you know, Brightwell turns around, Saltwater Aquarium sends all these test kits to try to help out, to test everything, to get to the bottom, to get some ICP tests down. Brightwell comes in full force, overnight this big old bucket. If you guys ain't see the two prior videos I just put out about this whole situation, go do your catch up on there. There's a lot we talked about. But they sent a big 5-gallon bucket of basically looks like carbon on steroids. I'm not familiar with it. It's Pruitt, Pureit, it's called. But I've used a lot of their other products. One thing so BRS did a study with several different salts, and I seen that they had Jeremy from Brightwell there, or yeah, they were talking. They did this, because I kind of watch and listen and see what's going on, but I'm flattered, sometimes with those guys, because I'll do something and then they come out too. Um, but Brightwell says they asked about something about their product, and basically told Ryan that we don't want it if we didn't deserve it or earn it. Basically talking about their own stuff, like if we don't earn it, then don't carry it. Basically something like that. And and then here Ryan's, just nobody says stuff like that. It's very true in this industry. Nobody, you know, if anything, everybody wants to sell you, you know, elixir, snake oils, blow smoke up your butt, and all this stuff. And them coming to the rescue, and then whatever, I decided just to go with them, far as salt. So I'm going to be switching over, just letting everybody know that I am going to flush my system with their salt, and I am going to go with their salt. Um, it's either that or back to Instant Ocean, and I was going to go with Instant Ocean. The problem is nobody has enough of it right now for me, right here. So they're overnighting the salt for me. So um, it is what it is. Um, what else? What else do I do? You know, people love to give a lot of suggestions, but at the same time, um, you know what test kits did Saltwater Aquarium? So they gave us the we got 4 ICP tests. So we're gonna be update. We're gonna just for you guys. I'll see about getting some of these. We'll try to do maybe monthly. I don't know. It's a lot, but maybe from here on out we'll do some testing here and there for this aquarium for you guys. Okay, Saltwater Aquarium. Obviously, you know how much love they got. They provided a code for you guys on my videos and the descriptions for you guys to go and get 5% for life discount code. So, you know, obviously, I got nothing but love and respect for those guys. Those guys always treat me good and with the utmost respect. And I will always have their back for that as well. And when you guys were raving about ICP, they sent ICP for you guys, and obviously for us to see what's going on. They sent the some strontium, Celifert test kits, the line of that, iodine, phosphate, also nitrate, and silicate. So, plus 4 ICP test kits as well. They're a great company. I can't say enough about them. Um, you know, hopefully we will just continue to have a beautiful mutual friendship, and you know, it's always a blast when I'm at a show hanging out with these guys. I don't feel like a fifth wheel. They're very, you know, they don't make you feel like, you know, they come as their team because they all work together. And obviously I'm not in their shop with them. Even Mark Callahan, you know, what we were just all together. And, you know, at the end of the day, it feels like another family. You know, they don't make you feel different. You know, and everybody is awesome. Everybody's always laughing. It's a good vibe. And, you know, some people in the group are really like just like hyper and contagious, and you know, it's good vibes. I can't say enough. It's like if you're like a cranky person, it's like hard to be cranky around these people. Like, I'm just being honest. They just all got to. There's only one person I can read, and that's Ken. Ken is the type it's just written off his face. When he's done for the night, you know he's done. But outside of that, everybody's always laughing and cracking jokes and just having a blast. And you know, you can't beat that. So I consider them my friends. You know what I mean? Every one of them, and that's just that. You know, they accept me for who I am, and I accept them for who they are. And yes, you know, they look out and you know stuff like that. But it is what it is. Uh, but they should be. I think they deserve to blow up. You know, they work really hard. What they try to do, they try to get stuff to you very fast, on time. try to be great customer service, try to answer everybody's emails, questions every morning, all kinds of stuff. They actually do a lot for the community. Um, Not taken away from anybody else. They deserve to blow up, and you know, and as long as they continue to be who they are, and not change just due to growth and size and more money becomes more powerful and stuff like that. Long as they continue to be true to who they are, I'll always be with them. You know, there's no reason for me not to, you know, do anything with them or whatever. But you know, yeah, they're awesome. Yeah, they do have a great team. Yes, they do. Uh, and I know Tom has gave at least 10,000 over the years to them. Natural seawater would be an awesome if you could afford it. Wondering in my tank when you use water. Yeah, and yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. They're awesome too. They're, you know, not to be funny, and I don't want to take away from anybody. Like I said at the beginning, you know, I'm not here to tear people down. I know it might come off that way, and I might seem that way. I am a very strong individual, mentally, physically, all the above. I would never take away from anybody. Like I said, I've watched BRS come from a long ways. Back in the day, I would cringe on some of the things I heard, but you could see that they're changing, and they're getting their stuff, and they're, you know, whatever. But every, you know, I have a lot of respect for a lot of people, and I think everybody has their own niche, and everybody has their own thing, and really doesn't really interfere with what you're doing. Just like YouTuber to YouTuber, a lot of people want to, you know, fight each other over YouTube, and it's like what you do and what somebody else does really is two different things. You're the people that watch you for your whatever reason they watch you might not watch me, and whoever watched me for one reason might not watch you because that reason's not there. The whole industry is a great industry. There are things that make things look bad and seem bad, but really it's not bad. Um, um, but it is what it is. I just wanted to give you guys a quick update on what the plan is, course of action, what we've done, what I'm waiting on. The tank is still whatever. It is what it is. We're just going to write it out. So um, I'm trying to answer some of the questions that I realized that people commented on, you know, and that's it. I know there's more. I don't know if there's other things that you guys may have heard or, you know, seen or can think of, but I've racked my brain around this a whole lot since I got back from Florida, and I don't know where else to go from here. I'm completely lost. I'm stumped. So it is what it is. So I guess I'm going to get off here. I just kind of wanted to talk to you guys. Hopefully, it clears up some things, what's going on. Other than that, I just don't know. I'm still lost. My brain's still fried, and that's it. So hopefully you guys have a beautiful Friday. Um, I'm going to yeah. Definitely, you guys don't, you know, just be sensitive to whatever people are saying in the comment section of, you know, people are going to make comments. People are going to have their opinion on certain things. It's okay to give opinions. It truly is. Um, just do it in a professional way. Do it in a, um, not in a rude way. But I'll leave this stream up for you guys. For those, simply say, sorry you missed most of the stream. I'll leave it up. I know people probably want to know what we're talking about. Um, at the end of the day, it is what it is. Uh, so you guys have a blessed Friday. Hopefully you guys, have an awesome time, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.